they want to address, inshallah, we'll try to also help with that. Allah Akbar, astaghfirullah.
So inshallah, if you'd like to give feedback, please put your hands up, inshallah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I've been struggling today. I was saying it's a struggle. It could be just different times of day I'm finding it easy, and different times of day I'm finding it harder. Today, in this one, to start off with, as you were doing the lataifs, when you're on the red one, I had already done all the lataifs and transferred. I found myself on a bridge, a curved bridge in the heavens. It was see-through. You could see the edges, but it was going from, the way I can explain it is like one earth is on one side and the other earth is on the other side, and the bridge is going in between. And me and Hazrat Saab are walking across it, and I ask them where we're going, and they're saying we're going to your house. So we end up at this house, and it was vague. I know I had a lot of land. The house was, from what I remember, pretty big, but it was vague. It didn't have no like, because it's a house of heavens, it wasn't, there was no like, I was trying to think, oh, it's going to have a balcony, it's going to have this, but it didn't have, well, I remember it didn't have any of that. And then I was just going in and out, like, I think I was tired of the phone, I was agitated, I was moving around too much. And then when you said we're at Medina Sharif, I found myself at Medina Sharif. You said we were walking through the gate towards the Rosa Park. I found myself walking down the corridor to the Rosa Park, and then I remember standing outside. When you come to the point where you said the gates were opening, that's where I went blank after that. Then that went, and then when you said after that we were at the Kaaba, I found myself at the Kaaba. And then you said when you present all your sins and your needs, I spent my whole time at the Kaaba at that time, presenting all my needs, and then put it all into a box. And there was light, this whole time there was a light on top of the Kaaba going into heavens. And everything I was presenting went into this box, and this box rose, went into the light and went up into the heavens.
So, alhamdulillah, so I don't see any problem in that.
It just seemed like, I know I said all that, but it was like everything happened within a minute, and then I was awake looking around, I was agitated,
Right.
then I've gone back into the zone,
Yeah.
and then...
So basically you open your eyes and
Yeah, I was distracted.
Yeah.
In that sense, I was agitated.
So obviously there was maybe a factor of tiredness as well, possibly.
Yeah.
So these things always do affect one's ascension. And that's why they say try not to actually, when you do your individual muraqabahs, don't do it when you're tired. Don't do it when you're hungry.
Yeah. I've also got a headache. I had a headache earlier on today for the first time as well.
Right.
And I'm normally...
When you woke up?
No, when we did the session earlier on in the day.
Right.
Well, normally I don't get headaches.
And that can be off, just a physical thing.
Probably from the donor from yesterday.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, you're doing well. and practice will only make this better. And like I said, if you, especially when you do your individual muraqabahs, then make sure it's a time where you're fresh, you've had sufficient rest, you're not too hungry, you've not ate too much as well, because that can actually put you to sleep. And sometimes what happens is, like within the muraqabah itself, you actually become a sort of an obstacle to what is being shown to you, because something is being shown to you, but you want to see something else. So, for example, when you mentioned that you could imagine about you wanted to see a certain kind of building, yeah? So that was your own mind trying to play with whatever. So this actually can be something that agitates you, and then obviously maybe even make you open your eyes and look around as well, inshallah. But just let yourself flow, inshallah, and alhamdulillah, whatever is shown, just the person just flow with that, inshallah.
No,
So nothing to worry about, mashallah. I think you progress well now. Then the main thing is obviously for yourself, and you know better that let's not make the mistake we did last time, and allow these amals to become secondary in our lives. We'll actually give them priority, inshallah. ठीक है. Anybody else, inshallah?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Once we were doing our lataifs, we got to the white one, the crown is and stuff. I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, I quickly did my lataifs, finished them off to where I fell asleep from.
You weren't the guy who was snoring, were you?
No.
No, I know he was. Inshallah. Obviously, no, we don't have to point anybody out.
No, that's
inshallah.
right.
But what to do, just when we do collective sessions, then you feel that, the person next to you is sleeping, or especially when they're snoring, just give them a nudge or something, and then maybe just ask them to go upstairs, because this can actually, be a distracting factor as well sometimes. Yeah, sorry.
So I fell asleep, then I woke up, and I did my the remaining lataifs and stuff. When you're switching all the lights off and stuff, and
Right.
I blew the golden breath,
Okay.
and for a little while I didn't think I travelled. I'd what's the word you use? Sorry.
It's okay.
Transferred.
Let me. Yeah.
So I didn't think I transferred, but anyway, then I kind of did, if you know what I mean. And then I was with Hazrat Saab outside our Huzur Park, Rozai Park. Then went to the Khana Kaaba Sharif as well, like you mentioned. Then when we come back to the Rozai Park, just before you started sending Durood and Salawat to the Prophet ﷺ, Hazrat Saab said, push me, he was saying, move forward and start reading Durood or Salawat. And then you started reading it. That's when we all started.
See.
And then when we came back out after getting ijazat from the Prophet ﷺ and from the Rosa Park, and Hazrat Saab, I knew I'd come back. When you've just come out of something. So I did transfer. But at the time, because I was asleep and that at the start, I didn't think I did.
See, just yourself actually thinking that you didn't transfer, there's no benefit in actually thinking that, because obviously now what we've experienced is, more than transfer. How was your actual the communicating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the muraqabah, the du'as that you presented?
Yeah, it was all right.
Was that a strong presence you could feel?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Not too strong and not too
Yeah.
weak, really, just
Right.
on average
See.
for what I felt like myself. So
Yes.
alhamdulillah, it was all right, yeah.
MashaAllah.
But sorry,
No, it's fine.
but because I fell asleep and I come and you'd already like everybody else had transferred and stuff, I thought,
Right.
have I got to do my types and everything again, or shall I just carry on from where I stopped?
Right.
But that's what I did, so I carried on. I carried on from where I stopped. So because of that, I had a bit of a like, have I travelled or not? But then,
No, alhamdulillah, what you have to understand really is now, especially when you become more experienced in this, and you know, we're sat here just as an aid helping. You know, if anybody is struggling, we can mention some things that might help them to picture something or visualize something, and you know, people are experiencing different things at the same time. But some people, like we're transferred on the Red Latifa. So that doesn't mean he has to come back and join the group and go on to orange and go on to the yellow. Yeah, and similarly, say you went to sleep in the orange, for example, yeah, and you woke up when you transferred. So now you can just go with the flow. Yeah, so you don't have to go back. Oh, I was at the orange, now I have to go back to the yellow and start all again. Because by the time you go back and clean all your process, you probably finish the Morocco, innit?
yeah, true.
Yeah. So inshallah, don't worry. These
Because
things.
sometimes, you know, when I've been doing my types and that, it's like I've started seeing Hazrat Sahib
Right.
and stuff like. It's like I've kind of like
Okay.
transferred.
Yeah. No, that's good because
So I
some
need
people actually experience that the teachers actually sat with them or in front of them while they're actually doing this cleansing process, and they actually see that they're actually being helped as well. So
Jazakallah khair.
that's nothing to worry about. Inshallah.
Yeah,
That's
Jazakallah.
good. That's a
Thank
good
you.
sign. Yeah. MashaAllah. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, also do give them opportunity as well.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Alhamdulillah, you know, the first session we done, that was okay. The first session, I found that. At the Lataifs was, I didn't good. I feel like I'm getting better at it as well, you know, transferring, especially when the body is disappearing, and then the golden breath. I found that, alhamdulillah, quite, I'm getting used to doing that.
Right.
Alhamdulillah, I was following Brother Siraj as well, Ustaz Siraj, sorry. And, you know, before he was saying like certain, like when we was in front of the Kaaba,
Yeah.
before he was saying we're doing zikr, I was already doing zikr
Right.
with Hazrat Sahab.
MashaAllah.
And then when we went inside the Kaaba, and you know, and then he was before that, I seen steps, and we was all walking up the steps towards heaven. So that was all right. And then the Muraqabah dua, that was very clear the first time. Like I was doing it, it was actually a bit different this time. When I was
Right.
doing Muraqabah dua, it was more clear with what I wanted,
Right.
what I was asking, what my sins were, and you know, putting them all together and give it as a gift. But I think this time, when we did it this time, I was okay in the transfer, but then I just went totally off track. I went a bit blank.
Right.
But at the end, I was trying to keep trying to find. First was the Rosa Mubarak, but on the way back, then when it was time to come back, then when you said that, right, with the Murakara dua, I was struggling then, but on the way back when you said like meet your teacher, then I met the teacher, and the teacher brought me back,
Right.
and then we done salawat, and that's what this time I struggled a little bit, like that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I felt myself coming back into my body, you know. Alhamdulillah, that's
Yeah. So what we have to understand sometimes, it's not necessary that each of your Muraqabah sessions will be better than the last one, or you know, you'll feel a stronger presence than the last one. Yeah, this is not necessary because obviously many factors. It can be tiredness, it can be other things as well, and then because also don't forget we did start, you know, about 12, and then a lot of energy was taken out from the first Muraqabah, and then you know there was the session. So there is a fatigue on the body which can affect that as well. But alhamdulillah, mashallah, for yourself, you just need to now focus, you know, regularly practice, And obviously, like we have this centre here, this is beneficial for people who live in the Bolton area, that they have collective sessions here that take place, every few days. So a person should, one, actually focus on their own, this practicing, and obviously for yourself now also to give priority now to share this message with other people, to a higher level of sacrifice that maybe you were doing before. Maybe you were doing it to a level before, but now, like they say, you have to up yourself a little bit, inshallah, and make this really a part of our mission, to actually feel that concern that the Prophet ﷺ have for their ummah, and then try to the best of our ability, whatever capability, because everybody has their own quality and skills. So somebody, for example, you got Brother Wasim, they have the media skill. Somebody can speak, somebody can do like our Khidmat brothers. MashaAllah, look, we just go from here, we have a dastarkhan laid down, but all the effort that they are doing behind the scenes. So everybody can play a part in this being beneficial to the ummah. So, yourself, better your qualities, and, utilize them, inshallah. Yeah. Anybody else?
Is there actually anybody who we've not heard from that maybe yourself thinks as well? Yourself.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ? ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਕਿੰਜ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ। ਮਸਲਨ ਲਤਾਇਫ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ।
ਬਿਸਮਿਲ੍ਲਾਹਿਰ-ਰਹਿਮਾਨਿਰ-ਰਹੀਮ। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम व रहमतुल्लाह।
हज़रत मैं कह लो भी किसी तरह का भी ना कोई एक्सपीरियंस कर ही नहीं सकिया, ਇਹਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਵੀ ਅਫਸੋਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ
ਜੀ।
ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਆਪ ਦੀਆਂ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਜੀ। ਇਨਸਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਨਾ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਮੰਨਣੀਆਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ, ਉਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਹ ਲਓ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਮੰਨ ਜਾਏ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਅਗਲਾ ਪਾਸਾ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਮੇਰੀ ਆਪ ਦੀ ਗਲਤੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ। ਮਾਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਦੱਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਆਪ ਦੀਆਂ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਜੀ, ਜਿਹਦੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਨਾਲ ਕਹ ਲਓ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਮਸਲਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਤਾਇਫ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਤਸੱਵਰ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ।
ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ।
ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਸੋਚ ਤੇ ਤਸੱਵਰ, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤਾਕਤ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ।
ਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ,
ਅੱਛਾ।
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ। ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਲਤਾਇਫ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਿਆਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ,
ਅੱਛਾ,
ਤੇ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ।
ਅੱਛਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫੀਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਸਫਾਈ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਉਸ?
ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਫੀਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੀ।
ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੇਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ ਜਾਂ ਤਸੱਵਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਲਾ ਨਾਲ ਯਾਨੀ ਮੁਨਾਜਾਤ ਕਰੋ, ਅੱਲਾ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਮੰਗੋ ਕਿ ਅੱਲਾ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰ।
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ?
ਜੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ।
ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਫਰ ਵਾਲੀ ਉਹ ਫੂਕ ਮਾਰੀ ਜੀ,
ਜੀ ਜੀ ਜੀ,
ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਕੀਤਾ?
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੀ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕੀਤਾ।
ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਖਿਆਲ ਆਇਆ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ?
ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇਖੀਦਾ ਵੀ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਮੈਂ
ਕਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੇਖਿਆ, ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਤਸੱਵਰ ਕੀਤਾ?
ਆਮ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਮਸਜਿਦ 'ਚ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਨਹੀਂ, ਹੁਣ ਸੋਚੋ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁਣ ਮਰਾਕਬਾ ਸੀ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਤਸੱਵਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ 'ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਫਰ ਹੋਏ?
ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਾਂ, ਤਸੱਵਰ ਇਹ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ। ਪਰ
ਕਿੱਥੇ?
ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਾਡੇ ਦਰਮਿਆਨ ਨੇ, ਇੱਥੇ ਮਸਜਿਦ ਦੇ ਮਿਡਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੜੇ ਨੇ।
ਅੱਛਾ।
ਤੇ ਉਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ
ਕਿਹੜਾ ਯਾਨੀ ਰੰਗ ਇਮਾਮ ਸ਼ਰੀਫ ਨੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਸੀ?
ਮੈਂ ਕੁਛ ਦੇਖ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਿਆ ਜੀ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਾਂ ਕੀ।
ਅੱਛਾ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਇਹ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਨਾ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇੱਥੇ ਮਸਜਿਦ 'ਚ ਖੜੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਿਆ ਜੀ।
ਅੱਛਾ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਲੇਕਿਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫੀਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ?
ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ, ਫੀਲ ਵੀ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੀ, ਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ।
ਉਸ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ 'ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ 'ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿਕਨ ਸਬਕ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਸੋਚਣਾ, ਕੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ?
ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇੱਥੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੋਚ ਉੱਧਰ
ਨਹੀਂ
ਨੂੰ ਗਈ ਨਹੀਂ
ਨਹੀਂ
ਜੀ
ਹੁਣ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਨਫਿਊਜ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚੋ ਕਿ
ਜੀ,
ਹਜ਼ਰਤ
ਜੀ,
ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੈ
ਜੀ।
ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖੋ
ਜੀ ਜੀ
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਨਾ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇੱਥੇ ਨੇ।
ਜੀ ਜੀ
ਜੀ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਆਖਿਆ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਣਾ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਜੀ
ਜੀ।
ਤਸਵਰ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰੋ
ਜੀ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਫਰਜ਼ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਹਜ਼ਰਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਆਇਆ ਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਰਮਾਇਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਦੀਨਾ ਸ਼ਰੀਫ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਟੁਰਨੇ ਆਪੇ ਜਾਲੀ ਉਹ ਖਿਆਲ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ
ਉਹ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ
ਨਹੀਂ
ਤੇ।
ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਕੀ ਸੀ
ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ,
ਤੇ
ਮੈਂ-
ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਆਈ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਜਦੋਂ
ਮੈਂ ਆਲ ਦਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਹੋਰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜੀ
ਜੀ
ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਮੂਵ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ
ਅੱਛਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਨਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋਈ ਲਤਾਇਫ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਰੰਗ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਿਆ
ਅੱਛਾ।
ਅੱਜ ਤੇ
ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਰਜ਼ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਸਲਨ ਉਨ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਖ ਬੰਦ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਮਦੀਨਾ ਸ਼ਰੀਫ ਗਏ ਹੋ ਨਾ
ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ
ਜੀ
ਨਹੀਂ
ਮਦੀਨਾ ਸ਼ਰੀਫ ਦੇਖੇ ਤਸਵੀਰਾਂ
ਤਸਵੀਰਾਂ ਦੇਖੀਆਂ
ਜੀ।
ਜੀ ਜੀ
ਜੀ ਗੁੰਬਦ ਸ਼ਰੀਫ
ਗੁੰਬਦ ਸ਼ਰੀਫ
ਜੀ,
ਦੇਖਿਆ
ਉਹ ਸਫੇਦ ਸੇਨ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹ ਤਸਵੀਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਤੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜੀ
ਹੁਣ ਅੱਖ ਬੰਦ ਕਰੋ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖਿਆਲ ਨਾਲ ਜੀ ਖਿਆਲ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਸਵੀਰ ਵੇਖੀ ਨਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਜ਼ਿਹਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਓ ਗੁੰਬਦ ਸ਼ਰੀਫ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਸੇਨ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖਲੋਤੇ ਹੋ ਸਫੇਦ ਖਿਆਲ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ जी ज़रा और कोशिश करो गुंबद शरीफ की तसव्वुर करो सोचो बिल्कुल जिकन तुसी तस्वीर वेखी वो तस्वीर आपने सामने लेके आओ सामने है जी ठीक है इंशाल्लाह तुसी बाद विच फिर इनफरादी बपी साडे नाल नहीं नहीं कोई नहीं अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਸੋਚ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਵੇਖੋ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਸਮਝ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਸਲਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੁਰਾਕਬਾ ਦੁਆ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੁਰਾਕਬਾ ਦੁਆ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਨਾਹ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੈ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਆਖਰ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਲਾ ਦੀ ਬਾਰਗਾਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜੋ ਅੱਲਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਉਸ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਾਜ਼ੀ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਉਸ ਤੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਰਾਜ਼ੀ ਰਵੇ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਜੀ ਜੀ ਅਲਹਮਦੁਲਿल्लाह ਅੱਲਾਹ ਤਾਲਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਮਯਾਬੀ ਕਰੇਗਾ इंशाल्लाह माशाल्लाह ठीक नेक्स्ट एनीबॉडी प्लीज ਕੱਲ ਤੇ ਡਾਨਰ ਤੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਾਈਆਂ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਨਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ तो ऐसा है कि ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਕੈਪੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਥੋੜੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਨਾਲ इंशाल्लाह माशा जी जी I've not heard from this brother जी bismillah just mention the whole process how you went through inshallah
Well, today I've not really experienced anything.
okay I don't want to hear the word imagination I just want to whatever you experienced
Yesterday,
just mention
I was telling Brother Imran and Brother here that I've seen like I don't know what I was, but I've seen someone tall with the white juban,
right
and I was looking and they were smiling at me. And there was like smiling at me. That's it. It's calling me.
yesterday so
This was yesterday. Yeah.
okay so just go through step by step what you did today through the process so start with your lataifs for example yeah start with your the lataif cleansing yeah so the different colors
I went through the colors. Yeah.
yeah
But
so could you think of the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could you imagine it
yeah,
and the light coming from it
yeah,
coming into you and
yeah. Inside me goes on.
so say for example the white
Yeah.
then the red the orange,
Orange,
yeah
yellow.
so you could see the colors
Yeah.
yeah okay that's a good start Then when we transferred, at that point when we said take the golden breath, how did you feel at that time?
I think that's when I probably kind of lost myself.
So what happened at that time? Did you go sleep? Or
I didn't go to sleep, I just don't know. I went blank.
Acha.
I just went blank.
So you were blank for 40 minutes?
No, I just don't know what's up.
No,
I was trying to concentrate, get back into the rhythm, but
Okay.
I
So
wasn't
say,
finding it.
okay, at the point when we said transfer, did you try to think of the Hazrat Sahib, the teacher?
To be honest, I don't know what I wasn't really thinking of anything, but I was just trying to get back into the rhythm.
Right.
I didn't think of Hazrat Sahib.
Acha, so you didn't think of Hazrat
No,
Sahib at
no,
that time.
yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, this is like you say, you know, to get this actual, the whole process. You know, the 20 levels. Brother Wasim, just if you could put them levels up on the screen, yeah, the 20 levels. Even actually mastering the process is one of the levels. Yeah. So when we say, you know, the methodology, the Salat al-Haja, the Niyat, the protection amal, the you know, the 3 states, the beginning amals, how you're doing your lataifs, when you transfer, think of the teacher. This is actually a level in itself. Do you understand? So this will come with practice. So sometimes even if we don't actually, you know, kind of yeah, not master, but make ourselves familiar with this, that itself can sometimes be a blockage. Because now, for example, you're saying, I just went blank. Yeah? So
Yeah.
now you've not actually followed the process in the sense that all we're asking from you is, we're not saying you're gonna see something, but what we're saying is use that faculty, you know, like Ustad Qais was saying to Dr. Saab, you know, just think of the car and you think of it. So all we're saying is just think, use your mind. So think that you've transferred, don't block yourself at that time, and then use the process. So just think that you can feel the teacher or you can see the teacher. Just think that with the teacher you are at the Mazaras. That's why sometimes we show them diagrams as well. Of saying of the Zita Pagram to the Mazar. Just think you're a Medina. Have you been to Umrah before?
Nothing.
Yeah, not been to Umrah before?
No.
Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take you, inshallah. You've seen pictures of Medina Sharif. Yeah? So you've seen pictures of Kaaba Sharif. So just think you're there. So this is what we say. Just use that tool initially, and then this will slowly turn. Look, if you look at the screen there, what is the first thing? It says the beginner goes through different stages of realization. Yeah? First thing, very important thing, getting familiar with the order. Yeah? So now that is the order, like we said, you know, once you do your lataifs, which order you do your lataifs in, and then you transfer, and then what you do, that order is including thinking of the teacher, then thinking that you traveling with the teacher, thinking of Medina Sharif, and then obviously there's a roadmap that we illustrate. Yeah? But like Ustad Qais was mentioning to Dr. Saab, that one is a person who's actually traveling to London and he sees all these bushes and trees and everything. And one is actually somebody who reaches there, you know, 2 hours on the train, is maybe even sleep. Yeah? So now, for example, Dr. Saab, say if they are struggling with visualizing or seeing some of the things, yeah? But they're feeling that closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that feel that, you know, they're so close, their soul is connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because this is what we're heading for, isn't it? We're heading towards the realms of the closeness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's still achieved to an extent. But it's not necessary that they had to see the trees and the parks and the everything on the way. And then you see the different levels, like completing the process with imagination, not seeing but feeling that one is there. So sometimes you might feel as though, you know, there's a blessed personality in you, in front of you. You feel that presence. You feel that there's something there. You know, the spirit. Yeah, you feel that you're actually in Medina Sharif. You might not see the golden grails. You know, might not even see the green dome, but you feel that the presence. So all these things they will slowly become. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give you level 20 on the first day, as some people may have this, but then what you have to give yourself hope is it, look, look how many stages a person might have to come through where imagination then becomes clearer, it becomes colorful, then it becomes like a picture, like a vague dream, like a clear dream. So what happens with some people, they actually expect to see maybe level 15 as soon as they do this muraqabah. Yeah? So this is, expectations, isn't it? But what we're saying is, just utilize the two faculties which are in our control, the mind and the imagination. And then do the mashq. As like Dr. Shalom advised Dr. Sahab as well. Now for them, it's practice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will choose the time where they actually have the vision. This may be while they practice at home, as an individual. It may be when they decide to come itikaf. But this is Allah's choice. Basic example, some things are in our choice, isn't it? Some things are not in our choice. For example, when we were, it's not in somebody's choice that they can choose when they wanted to be born. So somebody can't choose, I want to be born in the 15th century. I can't choose that I want to be Chinese or Habshi. I can't choose that I want to be 10 foot. Yeah? So some things, they're not in our choice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But some things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us choice. And what is that choice? The freedom of will to do right and wrong. So that same principle you can apply here. Because what we say is, you have a choice now. Use your imagination or don't use your imagination. Use your mind or don't use your mind. If you use it, then you'll benefit from it. If you don't use it, you'll just, like you said you're blank. So blank, especially if you blank yourself sometimes in namaz and things like that, then what will happen? That blank will get filled with other things, inshallah. That's what happens, you see. But this is the whole process of what we're saying, okay, use your mind that you're flowing. So there's something in your mind. So when you actually, in Medina Sharif, if we say Medina Sharif, you can't say, for example, imagine what the Ustad or somebody is saying. Then imagine yourself things about Medina Sharif. So bring the Green Dome to your mind. Bring anything into your mind. So at least the process is there. So alhamdulillah, this is obviously, so we know that, we shouldn't expect that we going to see, experience at certain levels because of our own capability. No, them levels are going to be by the fazl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And alhamdulillah, like we only had 2 days. So those who are experiencing, don't think because somebody's experiencing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has got extra fazl on him. Yeah? And because I'm not seeing, no. Alhamdulillah, this is not the case. Yeah? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it doesn't mean that somebody who's actually seeing something, it doesn't mean that he's more pious than a person who's not seeing. Remember this. Yeah, because sometimes a person might feel disheartened, everybody's seeing things, I'm not seeing, I must be a really bad guy. I must be the worst person. This is not the case. Remember this. Because now, even those people who's seeing, they're going to go home from here with the same sabak. Yeah? So every single person who's coming here, he's going to go home and he's going to do, like they say, take them 5 tablets every day. He's going to have to do his zikr, la ilaha illallah. He's going to have to do his muraqabah. He's going to have to do his tongue sheet. He's going to have to... So it shows that even though that person's actually visualizing something by the fazl of Allah or through the affairs of the mashayikh, but maybe at the moment he's still not controlling his tongue. The person knows himself. And so if you have some of these brothers here who've seen something, they can ask themselves, do I still sin with my eyes? Maybe I do. Do I still sin with certain organs of my body? Maybe I do. So that's why we say everybody is going from here on an equal foot, that they're going with the same sabak. And if they focus on that sabak, because that is actually the core. Yeah? What is the purpose in the sense of our iman becoming stronger by visualization? Yeah? Why? So that our physical life, as we're living life, it becomes a practical example of a good Muslim, isn't it? So, what if somebody is visualizing, and he's seeing things, but yet he goes and he's very rude to his parents, or he's very rude to his wife, or he still goes from here and still doesn't speak to his neighbors, or basically the things that are causing harm to the creation, whether it's from our organs, whether it's from our mind, or whether it's from our heart. So the whole process of this is that together with the experiencing and together with the purification, so we become those people, because what is one of the objectives of this path is that we become inwardly and outwardly an embodiment of the prophetic sunnah. Yeah? So what happens then is then these people will actually bring change into the lives of others. Yeah? Say for example, I live in a neighborhood where there's English people, and I don't even say hello, hi to them. I've never even visited them. I've never even knocked on the door. I'll be honest, I was like that. Until obviously, when you don't know, you don't know. But when you taught, I'll give you an example. Years ago, when I came initially, and this was a lesson, because these lessons is very easy to listen, but if you don't apply, then it won't bring changes in your life. So the lesson was, for example, those people, those English people who live in your neighborhood, if you've not visited them before, it was just around Christmas time, they mentioned that go and visit them, take them a box of chocolates. And you can call it that I think it was that week, or it was almost Christmas time. So my daughters were all young, so I took all three of them, and we had about maybe 20 or so English neighbors. So we went Asda and bought like 20 boxes of Quality Streets or whatever it was, and we went to each of these houses. And just you can't imagine. I'm not telling you. Every single one of them houses that opened the door, the expression was like a really good, warm expression, But this is actually, the practical implementation of Islam. If I just knocked on the house and say, "Oh, all right, mate, you want to become a Muslim?" You see, you never even said hi to me all your life, yeah. So it's about actually practical, and this is what all this actually should. Be a result of, inshallah. And this is what gradually things will happen. So, you're not going to go from this retreat and you're going to be left by yourself. Alhamdulillah, we are here as much as you need us all the way through, inshallah. So we can all be like, at least a glimpse of what our teacher's character is. And, because if you want to see practical example, don't look at me or some of us, yeah? You've probably not met the physical teacher, but when you see the physical the character of the teacher, you'll see what we're trying to achieve, inshallah. Jazakallah. So it's good, at least you experienced something yesterday, so that's, mashallah, a sign that you can continue. Gee. Oh, the main man I was waiting for. Gee.
I actually haven't got anything to say.
Yeah. Just mention the process, how you went through it.
Process, it felt good at times. I felt real closeness to Allah.
Right.
But other times when my concentration was a little down, then I was feeling distant again.
Right.
As vision goes, I didn't see anything. The types or anything, the colours, I couldn't distinguish any colours.
Right.
And that's.
Right. So you followed the process, but you couldn't visualize the colors of the lataifs.
No.
Yeah. So now at the point of the golden breath, what happened at the golden breath point?
At the golden, that's the worst bit actually, because the golden breath, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
And you're saying like, imagine yourself in front.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anything in front.
Right. Okay.
So when it comes to golden breath, I don't even know where I'm blowing.
Okay. So if I just
in
tell
fact,
you
when
to
I hear the ustad blow like you blew
Yeah.
and he blew last time,
Yeah.
that's when I blow. I just blow anywhere.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't see what I'm blowing
Okay.
out where.
See, okay. So at least you're blowing, at least you're doing the golden breath, isn't it? So you at least fulfilling that, familiar with the order, okay? So you do the golden breath. So when you say you heard those stars making the breath, at that point did you think of Hazrat?
Maybe not at that point, but at the beginning when I think I was on red or yellow all the time, I'm thinking of Hazrat
Yeah.
Sahab. Later on, a few
What were you
times,
thinking
but,
of them at that time?
or just to help me.
No, at that time, just explain.
But
I want
not-
to. You said you were thinking of them at that time. What were you thinking?
I called on them to help me.
Right.
But
So just
seeing or
just
anything,
a
no.
thought of them,
Yeah.
and you yourself was calling to help.
Yeah.
Okay, take it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a good thing actually. So at the point when we said take the golden breath and then think of Hazrat, what were you thinking there?
I just imagined them sat at one point, and I think at
Wh-
one point I just
where-
imagined their
where-
face.
Where did you imagine them sat?
Just next to you.
Acha, take it.
I think it was just like I said.
So
imagine,
that's
'cause
good.
I couldn't
So
see
you
anything.
use your imagination there. That's
Yeah,
good
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. That's
Okay,
it.
so from that point, then when we went to different places, did you use your imagination there again?
Yeah, I tried, but
Okay.
it was
Or at
hard.
Medina Sharif, for example, what did you imagine there?
Honestly, Medina Sharif, I don't know anything apart from the Green Dome.
Right.
So that's all I was trying to imagine,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Were you walking anywhere or were you standing anywhere in a particular place?
No.
Yeah. All right, Kaaba Sharif.
Yeah, Kaaba Sharif, just the Kaaba itself, and
Yeah.
that's it.
That was in front of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to imagine it in front of me, and that's it.
Right. ठीक है, alhamdulillah, that's good that at least you using the process of the imagination, inshallah. But I'll sit with you separately as well, inshallah. We can discuss. जी, anybody else? जी, ठीक हो थोड़ी से? Dr. Sahab, you want to mention anything?
Yeah, it was a bit different this time.
No comments from you.
Yeah. Again, I couldn't see the colours of the lataifs.
Okay.
I was struggling, but alhamdulillah, I had little flashbacks of the sheikh. Again, it was going by the picture. I've never met him really, so little flashes there. I managed to go to Medina Munawwara, but I was on my own then. There was nobody, but there was people in front of me, and I was following then.
Okay.
And I also saw the Jali Mubarak. I had my hands on the Jali Mubarak. So yeah, I saw that. I believe it wasn't actually. It was just imagination. I was trying hard because I've been on Hajj many years ago, so I can't remember that. But the most strangest thing was when you were conveying us to travel to the Mizar Sharif of the Buzurg Abdulaziz the Bagh Rahmatullah. I wasn't going there. I was going to Cairo instead.
Cairo.
To Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti Rahmatullah Alayhi's Mazar. Yeah. Now something strange took place there. Now we were requested to imagine that the doors are open and there's a light coming out.
Right.
But what came out there was light there, but what came out was like a Roman Catholic priest,
right,
with a big robe on,
right,
and he's got his cross here, the staff.
Right.
But he has a very Islamic face, very light skinned. He had a bit of a beard. So again, it might be my imagination.
Right.
I saw that. I went to the Kaaba Sharif, subhanallah. But I stood under the doors of the Kaaba. I wasn't on parallel. The doors were open and there was a light coming out. But I was literally below it, and all I could see was a glow flowing out.
From the roof of the Kaaba.
From the doors of the
Okay.
Kaaba Sharif, yes. What else did I see? Kaaba. That's it, really. Nothing else.
MashaAllah.
But alhamdulillah, it was a big
MashaAllah.
advancement from
Alhamdulillah.
previous years.
Alhamdulillah. I think very big advancement.
But I think you was guiding me as well. Your explanations, that was helping.
Quite honestly, I think our teacher was giving you extra attention.
Possibly.
There was,
It could be, yes.
Yeah.
It was a lot different than my previous experience.
MashaAllah, alhamdulillah.
It wasn't a blank sheet,
Yeah.
alhamdulillah.
So now, like with practice, inshallah.
I
you'll
will
see.
go and practice.
Alhamdulillah,
yes.
I'm really happy for you. Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah, jazakallah. Yes, it
Jazakallah.
was different to the other experience that I've had. But initially, going through the process of the initiation process of the Muraqabah, I did struggle.
Right.
But once you start relaying, or
Have you been to Cairo before? The bazaar?
I've never been. No.
So how did you know you were in Cairo or Jalaluddin Suyuti?
Well, a lot of my work, I'm a big fan of Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti rahmatullah.
Right.
Most of my research work is basically his work, but I bring it into the light of the
Right.
21st century.
Okay.
So I've written several articles on him as well.
Okay, take it.
because he is one of the prominent scholars who wrote on the medicine of the Prophet.
ठीक है, okay.
And a lot of my work is taken from there. So yeah, and I've seen his Mazar Sharif, and
ठीक है.
I have pictures. It's also on my Facebook group as well.
Right.
So I've written several articles. That's why I know. But instead of going to Sheikh Abdul Razak's Mazar, I ended
No,
up in
that's
Cairo.
fine, because what happens sometimes is, I'll give you an example. We have some people who are, brothers, please, they are, for example, they were bad with certain sheikhs.
Yes.
Okay? So what happens is, they've got a sort of a connection with this sheikh, and they have this love for this sheikh, and so what happens sometimes in the spiritual journeys, along with the teacher, even though the sheikh has passed into the barzakh, they meet their sheikh.
I never met the Sheikh.
No.
Yes.
What I'm saying is they meet this particular sheikh.
Yes.
I'm just giving an example
Yes,
of people
yes.
who are married. And now they see the sheikh and they're happy. It's because there's a inner want of that person to meet a certain personality. Yeah? And this, obviously, we can't understand the subtleties of the spiritual journey, how the teacher and what wisdom they use to bring people to. So now, for yourself to visit, for example, this personality, this was like an opening for yourself in a key of somebody that you have reverence to, you know about.
That's right.
Yeah?
I do see him as
and give you that
spiritual
hope
teacher as
that,
well.
you know,
Yes.
I'm at this person's mazar. So everything, you know, it's like saying it's achievable. Yeah. Now, just practice it, inshallah.
Inshallah,
and you
I
see,
will do.
alhamdulillah, things
I
will
will
get
do.
it.
I will.
I'm not sure
I just
on
believe
that.
it's just my imagination. He just popped out from somewhere. But I did see him, you know, like a Roman Catholic priest with the robes and all the...
From the mazar?
From the Mazar itself, yeah. And he had all these gemstones on it. And then he had this cross here, they call it, the big staff in his hand.
Right.
That was just strange. Oddity.
ठीक है, inshallah, we can probably ask our senior stars. Maybe that means something, inshallah.
But Khana Kaaba I went to, alhamdulillah, I was below the doors. And it was higher up to me. And in reality, I've actually touched those doors. They are higher up to me.
Acha, mashallah.
And I did go to but I came from the far entry. So I had to walk across the corridor,
Okay.
enabled to reach the doors of the
Right,
Doors of
right.
Mubarak.
Acha,
So I went that far, yes.
mashallah.
MashaAllah. Jazakallah.
Alhamdulillah, that's good. Jazakallah. ठीक है, inshallah, let's have it's about 15-minute break, so we can probably have that final session, what we need to, important one we need to present, and then we'll be done before Asr then, inshallah. And then I'm here all night if anybody wants to stay after, if they want to see one-to-one, inshallah, I'll be available, inshallah. ठीक है जज़ाकल्लाह सुभानकल्लाह अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्ला
Which brothers actually didn't have books? Could you just raise your hand so Haji Gulfam knows?
अच्छा
Just these two.